How hilarious was that goal? Oh my goodness. It was just, I don't know, I've just started, I entered Division 3 and started getting absolutely demolished. So I stopped playing and decided to regroup, and I kind of came back with a new philosophy on how to play. And just to kind of let you in a little bit of an insight on how I honed that in this game and kind of rounded out kind of my 3 points on how to play FIFA and also the game of soccer in general. The first one is going to be trust that your players are going to be where they're supposed to be. So that would be the FIFA version. In real life, it would be trust that your teammates would be where they're supposed to be. So when you're kind of handling the ball, it kind of makes your eye on the screen look a little bit more towards the exterior of the playing field to try and find open teammates. The second one would be, what was it? Expand your shooting range. So I've been so used to just locking in on kind of just like this certain goals, so never shooting unless the goal is certain, and it's starting to fail me, and it's also not that fun of a way to play. It's not that rewarding it's very relieving when you get a goal when you play that sort of way, but it's not very rewarding because you're experiencing the same reward over and over again. So in these past 2 games, I've kind of expanded my shooting range and really gotten some goals that I hadn't gotten before, including, kind of laughably, this last goal is an extension of that. And the third point, which kind of got triggered in the latter part of this game because he was really maintaining possession well, was attack where your opponents are. And it was more focused on the defensive part of the ball where, you have to approach defense like you're attacking. So in terms of cutting off passing lanes, don't cut off passing lanes where you think your opponent is going to be. Cut off the passing lane of where your opponent is, and because that's really because you have no control over when your opponent is going to play that pass, so you always have to be in that position. So attack where your opponent is. And on offense, I guess the flip side of that you can kind of take from that phrase would be like if an opponent is running right to left, pass it just where, like if you're passing to the right, pass it just to your opponent's right, or like right where your opponent was. So like, or pass it where your opponent is, and then if he's running, he'll just overrun that pass and the pass will go through. That's another way of looking at it, but it wasn't really the purpose of the statement or the point number 3, attack where your opponent is. That was kind of an afterthought. The biggest kind of revelation was trust that your players are going to be where they're supposed to be. So let's see if that continues to pay off, because I've just gone on a quick 2-0 streak. I kind of switched formations there for a second, but I'm going to play my next game in the previous formation because I'm going back to my backup squad, but we'll see if that one might work better. Also, I think Martinez really just does not try, as much as he has the trait, try and beat the defensive line, doesn't really try and beat the defensive line like, say, Benzema does. Hopefully I was going to pick up in form Pjanic, because Pjanic is he's like the ideal midfielder. Like ideally I'd have he just came out with a new inform, I think like week 37. He's an 87 rated. center midfielder. But that one, I mean, because that one's like, it is obviously, it's just like to the next level of, he has all the traits you want. So he has the outside shooting, he has the long shots, which is part of my expand your shooting range. He has those long shots in spades, I think. I mean, I don't think his shot power is in the bright green 90s, but his long shots is. And he has his specialty of finesse shot. So he has a 4-star weak foot. He has, I mean, even as it is, I think he has a 70. And he has a 70 finishing right now in his non-inform. But because he has that finesse shot, it's the same with Coutinho. They're able to score inside the box with that finesse shot at 70 finishing, where other players with that 70 finishing and no finesse shot would not be able to put that ball away and would just get absolutely stuffed. That was what happened with Marquisio. That's why he's no longer on my squad. I ended up selling him because he was wide open in the box with Lloris against another opponent. I'm sure I have a replay of it in the past, but Lloris ended up catching the ball. Like, he was wide open. I had him slowing down to a stroll in the box. He was just off center to the right, but he had days of time, and I was holding down R1, RB to slot it in on the side, and it's kind of like that. I kind of approached it like you approach the focus mode. Like, if you hold down the focus mode, it takes a couple of seconds. I was able to hold RB for a couple of seconds without any pressure. He ended up getting the shot off without any pressure, and the goalie caught the ball. And I was down at that point, so it wasn't like EA was enforcing a Mario Kart rule on me. It was just, he just got straight up stonewalled. So, yeah, let's move forward, see how this new tactic does for me.